And welcome back. Shinty, you have just killed a person, and are now walking to find the people you are supposed to be finding in the first place. Um, your way through town after checking the house, nobody was there. It was cleaned out immaculately, minus the door that was kind of just propped up against the wall. Um, and you are off trying to find where they might be hiding. Um, on your way, going the one direction that you can think of, you do happen to find a blue Honda Civic parked at a um, stop sign. Looks like the person inside is on their phone. It is not hard to take this vehicle from them. Again,
Well, considering the frustrations of his evening so far and the fact that his beast has been just spending it mostly just clawing right at the surface, at this point he's denied the beast enough. So he's going to go ahead and reduce his frustrations of walking. And as a reminder, I did reach out to my contact Liam to find out where exactly they were,
mhm,
actually.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, I will. I will go ahead and walk over to the car, making use of lethal body to just turn my flesh into basically equivocal of stone or steel. Just smash right through the window, grab the guy by the or girl, not honestly, don't even care, by the hair, grabbing them from the front of their hair and yanking backwards and pulling them out through the window and
Mhm.
just tossing them out onto the street, popping the door open, and driving away immediately.
Liam did get back to you on where it was. It was a morgue, if I recall right, because someone didn't read her notes before she started the session. It's fine. You do know the area of where the morgue is, and as you pull up, there is that familiar black Mustang parked outside, uh, along with a white van that looks like a painter's van. Uh, Little weird to see that there. And then on the other side of it is a tiny blue Fiat that's in immaculate condition. That car doesn't look like it's been driven, but it's very clean.
Well, that doesn't stand out like a sore thumb at all. Whatever. I mean, I just jacked somebody in the middle of the road after leaving another corpse on another city block, so I don't really have room to talk, I guess. Um, I'll go ahead and find the just first general parking spot that appears to be open and park the car there. I'm going to go ahead and rifle through the glove box and just through the car in general real fast to find if there's anything of even remote value in there that I might be interested in keeping my hands on. Not really expecting to find anything, but
You find about $40 in the glove box, hidden under some stuff. I misspoke. It's not a morgue, it's a funeral home. Uh, and you're able to not not find anything else in the car outside of that $40 and like uh, some coupons for food, but stuff you don't need.
certainly don't need. Um, I'll keep the 40. Cash is beneficial periodically. Just kind of stuff that into his pocket to replenish some of the money he spent earlier the other night. And go ahead and head over to. I think I'm going to go ahead and head over to the conspicuous painter's van parked
Mhm.
in the lot and just lean against it and wait because I don't know where exactly in this building they would be and what they're specifically doing here. So just barging in and causing a scene, while it is certainly in Shinti's wheelhouse, is possibly not beneficial to his soon-to-be packmates. So yeah, he will go ahead and just post up and chill for the time being.
As you're chilling outside, there is a light on inside. Most of the rest of the funeral home is dark. The back has a light on. The door's locked, closed, has like the little blinds drawn on it. Um, Occasionally, near where the van is parked, you can hear voices. It is two people talking in French. Their voices are a little raised. They appear to be having some sort of like a spat as they're walking about. Uh, I don't know if Shinti speaks any French. Yeah, you got no clue what they're saying. Um, Before you do see like the blinds peek down a little bit, and a very familiar face looking at you pauses for a moment, looks you up and down, and then just points to the door.
While they're looking me over, I'm just going to give a coy smile and a little finger wave to them while they're looking me over. And since they're motioning for me to go ahead and come in, I will push off the van and make my way into the funeral home.
The first thing that hits you is the fact that this place is very, very clean. It smells clean. Um, Less aroma of incense or any sort of fragrance so much as the overpowering smell of bleach. Um, and the light where it is coming is from an office in the back. Uh, and you do see a figure kind of step out of it. The fact that you keep finding me in this entire damn city is impressive.
What can I say? I'm an impressive kind of guy. That's probably why the powers that be want us working together.
No, the powers that. Never mind. So is this something you're going to try and take my car again? Because I'm not giving you my car. And whatever rust bucket you parked outside has to be gone.
That's fine. I don't intend on keeping it, but it can be disposed of. That's not a problem. And no, I'm not here for your car. Um, Honestly, I'm here to take care of formalities that we should probably take care of sooner rather than later.
What formalities?
He'll reach into the leather jacket and kind of into the back of his pants, and his fingers will brush past the 9mm that he has tucked in there, but grab a hold of the handle for it's a bone knife. It's one that he has actually preserved since his time as a mortal and has continued using as his Valdery blade. It's about time that we share a drink, you and the rest of the crew.
You do see he tenses when you reach your hand back for a moment, like his hand going into a fist before he realizes like what you're doing. Tonight,
Yeah, tonight. As
tonight.
immediately as possible, in fact.
Why are you so keen?
Why are you so resistant,
Because you
brother?
you come out of nowhere and you smell of Zamitzi and dog.
I may have taken an opportunity to meet some of the other folks in town. You
I like
know,
those.
exchanging general pleasantries as from one priest to another.
I don't like those dogs. They're weird. Come on in.
He'll head into the back and also will produce a from one of the pockets of his jacket. It's a small traditional Choctaw uh, jug that has a serpent actually designed into it that's wrapping around the neck of the actual vessel, which is what he uses as his traditional faldery vessel as well. I will go ahead and start working on getting some things prepared. I notice you all like to keep a very sterile smell to the place. I'm gonna need to burn some herbs while we do this.
Inside the room is the same small girl that you had seen the previous night. She's kind of sitting in a little chair with like a book in her lap. There is another person sitting near her, gender indescript. They have their hoodie up, so you can't really see their face. Um, and then there is a rather tired looking human at the table, just kind of like is rubbing his temples a bit. Fine, do what you want. It's his place, and if you so much as spill anything on this floor, I will not keep him from yelling at you. I want you to know this.
Keep your pets in check and everything will be fine.
I thought Samitsi were big on hospitality and like respecting other people's boundaries.
Like you said, this is his place, and cattle mean nothing to me.
Mm, he happens to be very useful for me.
Keep him on a short leash and he'll be fine.
You see, he looks at the man and kind of points out a bit, and he does like get up and leave. Um, so why? Who put you up to this?
Like we discussed briefly, I'm sure you're already aware of the bishop's presence here. I suspect that's why you're here to begin with. And well, y'all are lacking a priest these days, and I'm lacking the rest of a pack. That doesn't suit anyone very well at all.
Doesn't. I just wish Bishop would have selected somebody a little bit more charismatic.
Oh, you are precious. I think we'll get along just fine.
Mm.
And
It's only
Shinti's going to
one.
go ahead and he is going to gather up. Let's see. I think for this purpose, he's going to go ahead and grab some cedar wood, which he keeps a bit on him, as well as a few other herbs and whatnot. He's going to get that burning. This is just for blessing and consecrating purposes of the ritual area. So he'll kind of just set it towards the back of whatever room it is that they're going to be doing the ritual in and let that kind of start permeating the location. Um, this particular this particular one isn't used for any kind of supernatural purposes, actually. He does have a few that do have a supernatural effect to shift the resonance of the other pack members to his resonance, but that is not the purpose that he's using it for this evening. It's just for general consecration purposes. Um, he's also going to start prepping and cleaning the Valdery blade with some various essential oils, and then kind of wait for everyone to finally show up and assemble in the room.
Make me a wits and awareness roll.
That's going to be 4 with a crit. So just a crit, technically.
You don't see anything, but you do sense another presence in the room.
That'll prompt me to turn on Sense the Unseen at that point.
Go ahead and roll your Auspex dice.
That is going to be 6 with a crit.
You gaze around the room, and at first you almost overlook them. They're standing in the corner of the room, kind of leaned up against the wall, just resting there. It is a very tall figure. You can't tell the gender, roughly almost 7 feet tall, pure white skin, almost dark shark-like eyes. And Zechariah did tell you there was an Nosferatu with the pack.
I assume you're the resident sewer rat.
You see the figure kind of looks off towards where Remy's standing. Her name's Izzy.
Pleasure to meet you,
Marta.
Izzy.
Alex. I don't know if those two are able to participate yet. They haven't gone through their rites yet.
They can participate, they just can't add to the cup. They'll be bound to us, we won't be bound to them for the time being.
Perfect.
And once everybody is finally assembled, Shinty will go ahead and start the ritual process off. He will take the Valdery blade, bringing it across his wrist as he places that over top of the mouth of the vessel. And as he's doing so, he is going to recite out a mantra, essentially. Something that Sabbat would normally do. It tends to be based on their path, so everyone will have something kind of similar, but their own variants that they'll end up saying as the process goes through from individual to individual. But he will say, "Praise Cain, the flesh is false, our souls are eternal. Turn the wheel, death to the false fathers." And then he will lick the wound shut and pass the vessel and knife. He'll pass it to Remy first, and then let Remy go ahead and pass it around to the next individuals in line, because for the time being, even though Remy is technically a Templar, he's probably going to stand as the acting ductus for the time
Mm.
being would make the most logical sense to me. So,
Yeah, he's already been acting in that position for his own pack. He does do the exact same thing, flavoring his a little similar. It's not too different. He is Path of Cain. Uh, before handing it off to Izzy. Marta and Alex are both kind of just like watching this take place. Like Marta shut her book and is kind of just watching as it's passed around. Izzy unobfuscates herself to take part uh before handing the cup back to you because it's only the two of them. As the other two are unable to participate in adding their blood to the cup.
by the will of the Dark Father, glory to the Sabbat. And he will take his drink and pass it off to Remy once again.
And he'll repeat and take a drink and then hand it over to Izzy. And then Izzy looks at you for a brief moment before like handing it to Marta. Just kind of like she's like she doesn't know what a priest does, so she's looking to you for clarification that that's the next person she should pass it to. And then Marta passes it to Alex.
And once everything is finalized, he'll simply say again, praise Cain. And unless your ductus has further need of you this evening, you are free to do as you wish at this point. I will be available for any spiritual guidance that any of you may need. And he will go ahead and start working on his cleaning process for keeping both the blade and the vessel in appropriate order.
You do see Izzy kind of leans down to the younger two members and whispers something to them in Spanish before ushering.
I do know Spanish.
You do know Spanish. You hear her say very softly to them, "Come with me," before ushering them out of the room to just leave you two together.
So that'll set up an initial vinculum for everybody. If memory serves me correctly, it just starts at a grade 1 vinculum, and then every time that we do it, it's going to increase up to a maximum of 3 outside of certain special rituals that will rev that up to higher levels. And I won't be letting any of them go long enough that it will ever start depleting. So that would officially establish us as a pack now at this point. As Shinty's cleaning the implements, and he will go ahead then and also snuff out the cedar wood that's burning in the room so that it doesn't permeate the smell too far, because he does still give a shit about Remy's property of the ghoul or mortal, whatever it happens to be.
It is his ghoul.
Okay.
He was a little clear on that.
He does respect Remy's property and doesn't want to cause any issues, even though he is kind of a prick and is happy to jab him about it. So, obviously my main purpose here is going to be the spiritual guidance of this pack. And as per the traditions of the sect, you will handle the martial facets of things.
I've already been doing that.
As I would expect. I didn't think that just because you lost your priest that you would allow your duties to be shirked, especially as a Templar. So with that in mind, the bishop wasn't expressly clear on what your objectives were at this point in time. I assume it was left to you to explain things to me. Now that we've handled all of the formalities. What is it that the pack is up to these nights?
Lying low mostly. Caught some heat coming out of Juarez. I assume you heard of what happened and how the city fell.
I did, though I've heard mixed rumors. Whether or not it fell or was abandoned is not for me to say, but since you
Oh,
were there,
oh, it was obliterated.
hmm,
Me and those three are the only ones left. So-called Second Inquisition basically razed everything to the ground. Which is why we're laying a little low, and why the bishop doesn't want us stirring up too much trouble just yet.
well, I can only assume that the bishop aspires to grander plans in the long term, since the one facet that I was clearly explained on is that our numbers are not to dwindle solely at the amount that we have here.
No, recruitment is key. I'm unable to do so. Again, I am a Templar and there's a bishop for me to look after. Well, I'm actually one of four, but the other three aren't mine to keep track of.
Indeed. Well, with that being the case, I've already started work on a couple of young neonates here in the city. Well, I think one of them's probably a fledgling. They still have that glassy look in their eye.
Oh, those were the days.
But I'm prodding, finding out exactly what it is that frustrates them about their current stations.
What are their clans, if you know?
Two of them appear to be Ravnos.
Mm,
My
Listening.
assumption for the third would probably be a Rose.
Mm.
Could be a couple other things, but there was a fixation on their personal looks, it seemed like. They wore designer clothes and made sure their makeup was pristine. Silly things like that. Energy that could be much better focused to much more interesting things in time.
Could be a Ventrue, you know how much they preen. But we'll see. Ravenos, however, particular favorite of mine. There's another one in the city. Well, there's two more in the city that I know of. One of them runs with Zachariah. Tall, pretty lady, looks a little bit like Cher.
Ah, fascinating.
I assume you saw her if you were over there with the mutts.
Hmm, yeah. This city does seem to attract them.
Passageway
Makes you.
through.
Yeah, it still makes one wonder. Especially if some of them are sticking around. Hmm. Well, needless to say, the objective will be to get most, if not all of them, under our sway in time.
Oh no, the other one that I know of, I plan on tormenting particularly.
Very good.
He
I wouldn't deny you amusement.
has a very interesting story that he has still yet to tell me. Evidently, it's in the same area as the Antediluvian back in '99.
Interesting. One of the two that I'm prodding with right now mentioned that they were at least around when everything went down. I suspect that they weren't necessarily in ground zero, but that is fascinating.
Particular interest of mine.
Well, in particular as well, since our own failings in the blood have unfortunately come to light in these recent years.
It'll be interesting, unfortunately, once I get my story from him. I have to take him apart then. He's too attached to his humanity. And I need to remind him of what he is.
It's always the fun part. It's always the fun part.
He has a little friend. If I get my hands on him, that could be fun too.
Oh?
For me to know. Not gonna let you swoop in and take my fun. And if you are the pact priest.
I have no designs to take your fun. My dance card is full right now.
Yes, you've got 2 Ravnos and maybe a Toreador Ventru.
Indeed. I should probably go track them down again soon. I'm giving them a night. Hit them with a lot of crypticness to start things off. Just poking and prodding. Revealed quite a bit. Still don't have a full angle on all of them just yet, though. The older Ravnos in particular. That one's smart enough to be cagey.
Those of us who've been around a while tend to be. Your Ravnos got a name?
I don't actually recall if I ever got their names. Or if that was in any of the information that was originally sent to me by the bishop.
The bishop did not include any names. Just bare bones.
Fair enough. Well, I think we established that I recognized Terran. So he would go ahead and come clean with that. I'm not entirely sure about the 2 Wanderers. The Rose or Blue Blood or whatever they are. That one goes by the name Terran. They have a bit of an online presence, which I'm sure really rubs the tower great.
Tower, I don't think really cares too much so long as nobody's got their fangs out on it.
Well, I heard that they had their whole edict these nights of no technology whatsoever of any kind.
Prince rules things a bit differently down here, and this is Texas.
I've heard that the Prince does a phenomenal job down here, which should make this place easy pickings long term. Here we have quite the absentee daddy problem here.
Yes, but unfortunately, we also have one of my, well, I'm unique, but one of mine running the show most nights, so I don't think that should be too much of a problem.
I miss the old days when your clan did a very good job of keeping defectors in check. It's unfortunate the way things have turned in recent years.
Well, we can't all be reliant on how the old ways used to go, and Self-preservation has always been one of our key pillars. And I think most of those who are defecting think the tower is a better way of handling our little great grandparents, if they so choose to rise up again.
Ugh.
But they pay a price when they go over.
Young and foolish. That's what it sounds like to me. The tower is just gonna put them up on a silver platter. But they might not have to worry about it if we have success. So they can thank us then.
Indeed. Do I need to? Well, I shouldn't need to get the rest of mine. I don't think you need to know who the others are just yet.
So I should ask, is this place serving as the communal haven?
Yes and no. This is easy for me to get a food, and my ghoul does this for a living, so it's a safe spot for us currently. Plenty of little hiding spots here during the day. I don't particularly lay roots down too often.
I'll work on establishing something then. We'll need a good out-of-the-way location for some of the more robust rituals that we'll need to observe over time.
Don't want to use Zechariah's warehouse.
I mean, we could, but that is their turf. If we're going to be stuck here for a while, which my guess is by the way the bishop is approaching things, that we will be here for at least a while, we should probably have some place of our own.
He didn't tell you what he was up to?
Again, no. My job is to get all of you under tutelage again.
Talk to me like I'm a child.
No, but we never stop striving for enlightenment.
No wonder you and Zechariah get along so well.
Well, I'll be here for you, Remy. Regardless of whether you want me to be here or not.
Oh, I could care less if you were here or not. They are merely formality at this point.
Funny. I think most would argue that about the Templars and Duckdie these nights.
Well, I can at least punch a hole through a wall. You gonna chant at people?
I know you're not that naive.
I assume you're not Zechariah's level of creepiness yet.
He and I have different perspectives.
Did he show you the composite flesh monster he keeps around?
You might want to pluralize that.
Oh, he's working on another one. That's interesting. You know, he hit me with it once. For show, of course.
I'm sure that was less than enjoyable.
No, it absolutely hurt like a bitch. I don't know why it needs that many arms.
Well, I'm sure you still remember back to the height of the sect war. If we decide that it's necessary to cause that level of chaos, it'll need those arms.
That's what I'm afraid of. Like a fighter, I don't know why. I don't know. I think he's got a fixation. Or that's the rose that he runs with. I don't know.
It's fine. I'm sure they have their own objectives that the powers that be have them working on. We just won't step on each other's toes. Take care of what we need to take care of.
Exactly. Did you ever meet the bishop in person?
No, I have not.
You're
At
gonna
least
get
not this one.
you're gonna get a kick out of him when you do.
I'll take your word for it.
Can't. I hope I'm there at least to see your face. Things will fall into place very quickly for you.
I suppose we'll see.
Since you are supposed to be ministering to my undead spirit, I suppose you should be aware that I am under a fey curse.
I am going to make an occult check to see if Cinti would even be aware of what the
Go
hell
ahead.
that might be.
Go ahead.
Knows a lot of shit. That's a
Mhm.
pretty rare one, though. Whew. I'm actually going to go ahead and spend a willpower on it. It's a pretty good roll, but I could do better. Like that. So that is 9 successes with 2 crits.
Shinty has seen a lot, been around a lot, heard a lot of things. He and you would be aware that changelings are very, very rare these days. The ones that survive tend to either be very, very smart or very, very old. And they most certainly are as far from human as you can get, wielding unusual arts.
And would I have been aware of the Lasombra line having ever been cursed by...
You certainly would have.
Interesting. You grow more fascinating by the minute. I think we're going to get along very well.
Oh, I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. You've already annoyed me 3 times in the past 6 days. And I don't honestly know what to do with you, but I'm kind of stuck with you right now. And no, I am not one. If I have a childer, then yes. But the bishop has me on a band.
Interesting.
Well, something that's 7 feet tall, has pure black eyes, and is purple is kind of hard to hide around the city.
One has to wonder how long the bishop intends for us to lay low with what Zachariah is working on.
We'll see. So far, I've been told, play nicely, don't tear anyone's head off. I want to.
I'm sure that'll change soon enough. And
God,
then
I hope so.
your role as Ductus will become rather important.
I am very excited. Well, you can't stay here tonight. Unless you want to, you can take it up with the Frenchman.
Ah, no need. I can take care of myself. That's perfectly fine. We need a communal haven anyway, as I said. Might as well start getting a leg in on that.
Talk to the bishop. He can probably set you up with something, at least an area that's nice. Or at least give you pointers.
Not entirely sure I'm looking for nice, but I'll take it under advisement.
Well, I have other things to do tonight. I have a ghoul to go tell that you did not absolutely ruin his furniture. Be nice to him. I've had him for 30 years.
I won't break your toy.
Good. He's useful.
And at that point, he'll start putting away the various implements, having gotten them cleaned, and go to head back out. He will take the stolen car again, and he's going to ditch it elsewhere at this point, since Remy didn't really want it staying at the funeral home. So,
Hey, if you want a good place to dump it,
sure,
try St. Edward's Church. Leave it in the back.
perfect.
If you see a rust bucket blue looking truck, park it right next to it.
Block it in.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Oh, and put this under the window. He does hand you a folded up note.
He'll take it. He actually won't read it, even though he is a prick. Again, he does have some respect for certain things, so he'll just put it in his
You
pocket.
can read it. I don't mind.
Oh, it's fine.
Right under the windshield wiper, like right in front of the driver's windshield wiper. I want him to see it and know that it was me.
Not a problem.
And you are able to go out into the night. And we are going to transition over to a very lively bar where Taryn, Amanda, Joe is walking back up, and three ridiculously good-looking triplets are all hanging about. Jimmy has impressively drank 2 beers in the span of just a few moments. He does not appear to be buzzed at all. Will is still playing around with the first bottle. He's like turning it around a little bit in his hand just to like look at everything. Jimmy's got a pep in his step. But you all are together.
I am watching these hot triplets not drinking, and I'm watching them and then just staring at the other 2 women like I was promised hot triplets drunkenly fighting, and they're not even drunk yet. So
oh, they'll get there eventually. Just it takes a minute. They're big boys, they can hold it off.
Then they need to get to work.
There's only so much I can do.
If anyone can do anything, I think it's you.
I'm inclined to agree with that.
You got the beer to start off with. That was your first problem.
It really was. We really should have bought them shots. Can we buy them shots now?
Isn't it better to work your way up, though?
How much?
No, wait, I
moonlight?
think I have that backwards. It's been a while.
How much moonlight do you guys have? Like, I know it's relatively young, but like, if you want them to fight, like, I guess the beer works. I mean, you know Will, he's a slow drinker.
Which of the triplets is closest to me? Closest to me.
That would be Timmy, who has already moved on to his next beer. He is drinking like a fish.
Okay, good boy. I pat him on top of his head and I look at the other two. I'll show you my tits if you get to work.
That's one way to do it.
You see Jimmy kind of looks at Joe like, wait, what? Why am I having to be sober?
You can drink if you want to. I just thought maybe, you might feel a little, catch it a little quicker. I don't care what you do.
Excellent.
I'm gonna sort of sidle up to Joe a little bit and watching the triplets drink. Listen, I don't know what the rules are, right?
Mm.
But if this is so embarrassing. Like, okay, so like I kind of have like a preference, I guess, maybe.
Of course, everyone does.
But like if they get really, really drunk,
Do you want to borrow one?
yeah. Like I promise to be nice. Like I'm not gonna like
Not Jimmy tonight.
Okay.
Once a night is generally enough. But the other two, by all means, I don't own them.
Don't you though?
Well, only that one. And she sort of thumbs towards Jimmy. Technically. Less official, more law of the land.
All right, I get that. I'm watching Timmy and Will take more sips of drinks. I guess I just sort of had like a problem. I guess it is a problem. And I guess some problems don't really go away when you die. And it looks like they can maybe help with my problem for tonight.
As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody has some sort of preference.
Taryn leans back in her chair so that she can see Amanda be like, yeah, it doesn't go away. I have a problem too.
Really? What's your preference?
Something a little harder to find is such an interesting, harder to find in places like these than alcohol.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Fair.
What are you looking for?
I'm not really looking for anything right now. But if I were, it would be maybe somebody who recently had surgery or an accident and, or somebody they knew did, and maybe they had a prescription that they just kept refilling or something.
Can I do an insight check with Vice to see if I can catch anybody in the room that would help with that?
Yes, you can.
And would Bloodhound help with that at all?
Yes. Yes, it would. Add your dice for your Bloodhound.
Let me find that real quick. It might take me a second to do this. My character sheet is freezing.
It is all good.
All right. All right, let me do Bloodhound first. And then if you want me to do...
I would say do wits and insight and then add your Bloodhound die. Yeah. Because I don't have the core book up. We're playing fast and loose with these rules.
I had a runaway dice. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 successes.
Excellent. As you are looking the crowd over, the only person that pops into mind that you can see exhibiting anything is actually one of the waitresses behind the bar. She's hiding it fairly well, surprisingly, but it is because of the stuff Sal occasionally gets himself into. You do notice the subtle signs of like a little bit of glassiness in her eyes. The fact that she's a little bit more disoriented than normal. She's definitely on something that's not quite legal.
Joe just does a quick scan, lands on the bartender, and goes, "That one?"
And Taryn kind of looks her over and be like, I can see it.
Oh, trust me. Trust me. I have a gift for these things.
Well, if I get hungry, I will certainly take that under advisement. Not that we're ever not hungry, but if the
Should you ever need someone to have a look for you, I'm happy to.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Now that we've all got a little bit of what we want tonight, and we've incentivized the drinking,
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry.
I honestly don't know where I was going with that. I think I was just making an observation.
I mean, we've got entertainment. We know our needs are going to get met. I guess just have a lot of questions, and I don't know, Donovan, whatever.
Tall, dark, and creepy?
Yeah, tall, dark, and creepy, right? And Donovan obviously isn't his real name. Did we get his
No.
real name? I don't even know. And there's
Hmm.
a whole bunch of everything that got thrown in my face, and I don't even know how to sort any of it.
Well, what do you have questions about? We can compare notes.
Why did the problems I had when I was alive don't go away? Who turned me? Why do I feel like I always need to keep running? Why is everything just like this? Why do I have to sleep all day and can't go out into the sun? Why is everything just awful?
Okay, I know it doesn't look it, but we are the same age, roughly. So, I need you to remember all the vampire media that you definitely, I know the type. You watched a shit ton of vampire stuff when you were a prepubescent teen, right? And you need to think about that and think about that question that you asked. Why do I sleep all day and can't go out in the sun?
I mean, I know what I am, but
okay, so that answered your question. Why is that a question? You can't go out in the sun because you'll die.
well, obviously I know I'm going to
Okay.
die, but why? Why am I going to die when I go out in the sun? Like,
Because that's how it works.
that's not good enough.
I'm sure at one point I was told the answer to that, but
Why does a human die
it
when
doesn't
they
matter.
into a bonfire? Or anybody, really. I guess you can't, I don't think anybody can live when they go into a bonfire, can they?
I have a little bit more luck with that.
Congratulations. I'm sorry.
It's very useful for the job.
Fair.
And what is the job exactly?
She's a circus freak. God,
I don't know.
up.
Well, I don't know if freak's the right word.
Oh no, I don't mind the word freak. The politically correct term is sideshow performer,
That seems better.
but I don't mind the word freak.
See, she doesn't mind the word freak.
Tends to be my preference when it comes to most people.
I mean, just it is because it is. Isn't a
Well,
decent answer.
I don't think that the CDC has been doing research on Kindred. So you're
You might be surprised.
okay. They're not doing research on Kindred that Amanda can just walk in and say, hey,
No, they certainly haven't published any of their findings, but there are people who have studied things.
oh, I know. I know that they're full of scholars.
This is like the UFOs all over again, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think those are real.
No, the UFOs are absolutely real.
Yeah, no, they.
No.
Yeah.
Fairies, now they're real.
No, fairies
Yeah,
are real.
Oh, yeah, they totally are.
absolutely real. I've seen them.
You've seen
She's Irish. If anybody has seen them, it's her.
I've seen the wee people.
Everything
It's
you know
shocking.
about
They're actually not really tiny, though. Fairly normal sized.
I honestly don't know if that's more scary.
I think big is scarier. Big is scarier.
I would say everything you ever thought wasn't real is real, but I still don't believe that the aliens are. I'm gonna have to see that one to believe it.
Now, we don't know about aliens. We just know that there are UFOs. One does not beget the other. However,
No, there's logic there. I'll accept it.
I think it is very nearsighted to think that this planet, with all the weird shit that's on it, is the only thing that can sustain life. And then Taryn has a minute where she stops and is like, I'm having a philosophical argument with two other kindred in a dive bar. What is my life?
I can't handle this. Is one of them ready yet? And I look over to Timmy and Will.
Will is
how drunk they are.
still slowly drinking. Timmy was much more motivated after the promise of being able to see everything. He is a little bit more leaning a little heavily on the bar. Jimmy's kind of got one hand just like steadying him a bit. If he passes out,
Oh, we're getting
can I tie him to the roof of the van?
Yes.
Yes.
And Joe just hands Amanda the keys to the van. Better than doing it in a bathroom.
You know, I have to agree with you on that one. And thank you. I'm going to take the keys in one hand and wrap my other arm around Timmy and say, all right, sweetheart, how about we go get you a nice lie down?
I appreciate all three of you.
I appreciate you, sweetheart.
all three of you.
Oh, there's a lot of people at this bar.
There are. We should go someplace quiet.
We should. Yes. Let's go.
Let's go.
Will cannot drink the rest of my beer. I am coming back for that.
Of course.
There's a
Of course you are.
bucket under the bed, just in case. Might want to pull it out a little bit.
Towels under the bed. Got it.
Bucket.
And the bucket.
You are able to lead Timmy to wherever you want to go. Joe and Taryn, you watch as Jimmy drinks the rest of his beer.
Good man, Jimmy.
Shinty, you were ditching a vehicle outside of a particularly creepy and spooky church. There was a truck out front, that you could matches the exact description you were given.
Oh yeah, whatever it requires to block that in, I'm going to do. If that be double parking, if that be just, if they were up close to the vehicle in front of them and then riding right up to the fucking bumper of the back, whatever it takes. Just make sure they can't easily get the vehicle out at this point.
You are able to do so. You put it almost right up against the bed of the truck. Do you put the note underneath the windshield wiper?
Yeah, I'll pop that under the driver's windshield blade.
And go ahead and make me a wits and awareness roll.
That's going to be 3 successes.
You can feel as you're sliding the note under the windshield wiper, the hair on your arm start to stand up a little bit, and you look around and you don't see anything.
Immediate reaction is going to be to kick on Sense the Unseen, just to see if there's anything hiding in the area.
Go ahead and roll it. Five successes. You surprisingly don't see anything invisible. But you do, as you're turning to look across from the church, there's an alleyway in between two of the buildings across from the church. You do see the shadows start to ripple inside.
Well, that does intrigue me. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head over to the alley.
Excellent. As you walk into the alley, the feeling continues. The shadows seem to be like leading you back towards the back portion of the alleyway, where it comes into a T section where you would guess the trash truck would pass in the back to pick up the bins back there. There is a very nice, sleek, older model car back there. The license plate is obscured in darkness, so you can't read it. And there is a figure leaning up a little bit against the driver's door. Their head is down. And again, with the shadows whipping around, you can't quite see what their face looks like.
I always have appreciated that little trick.
It's an old one, but a good one.
You got my attention.
I normally do. Did you get a hold of him?
And others. But yes.
Good. And your other task?
Groundwork's been laid. Still have to sort a few things out with it, but progress, nonetheless. Didn't expect it to happen overnight, so.
I didn't expect it to either. The groundwork is being laid. All is going according to plan.
I must admit, you have me curious at this point.
About?
Well, what seems to be conflicting strategies in place. Telling everybody to keep their heads down, but at the same time, our friends are making party favors.
You want in on the plan.
If you expect me to be an effective leader, it would certainly help to know what I'm leading them to.
Very well. As you know, us holding territory is no longer an option. It is also quite useless. Cities do not hold any power. Makes us lazy and ineffectual. My goal is to start here, take the city out, and move on. Increasing our population as we go until we are able to go forth and face down those that hide in the darkness, for they arise and eat us all.
Well, I'd say we're off to a good start. Even if we don't take every step of this ourselves, we can always draw eyes that can finish jobs for us.
That was my plan. If the Justicars don't come down on the city, I expect this humans will. Let them fight with what's left.
I've heard that we've got some attention of a few of the humans at this point. Though, isn't that hard to get the kind's attention these nights?
No, it isn't. As far as I know, he's taken care of all but one.
Well,
But he's passed that task off. Whether it's been accomplished, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet.
might be worth keeping the last one around.
Might, but that one's particularly zealous. And very faithful.
Well, zealotry and faith are perfectly suitable if channeled in the correct direction.
We'll have to see.
Indeed. Well, for the time being, I've given myself my own little task.
What have you came up with?
The pack needs a place to bed down. Something that isn't so reliant on mortal ties.
And as a favor for your work, the fact that you found him quicker than I thought you would, give me 2 nights and I will have an address for you.
No bells and whistles. No creature comforts. I need to make sure this pack doesn't get complacent and soft.
I won't let them get soft.
Nor will I. And I'm assuming that's why you brought me here.
It's one of the reasons. I couldn't have you with your talents wandering and lost for too long.
Oh, you know me. I'm sure I would have gotten my hands back into the cookie jar quickly enough, but this seems interesting. Fun, even.
I look forward to seeing what you make of the ones that I sent your way.
Well, we'll see. I think the prospects are suitable, at least so far. The oldest of them is more standoffish, but that's to be expected. I'm sure they've heard horror stories of us.
Yes, I'm assuming so. Her sire's interesting, though. I'm hoping to maybe pull him along for the ride, but if not, he is a particularly easy person to stick a few things to if I need to. I heard Elliot was going to talk to him tonight.
Haven't had the pleasure to make his acquaintance just yet myself, but yeah, I like it when we have assets that are expendable when necessary.
He's going to be very expendable. And you do see these shadows start to drop a bit away from his face as he's looking at you. I'm not going to apologize for your other pack.
So, immediate question would be, and I'm
Mhm.
assuming that this is probably going to be a yes.
Mhm.
Do I have an existing vernaculum with this individual?
It is a weird feeling. You do, but it is very, very low.
Consider it water under the bridge. You know me well enough to know that that wasn't my first pack anyway.
I do.
It's a war that we're fighting at this point. We're, as you said, done playing house.
Exactly. The other cities fall into fighting, I could care less. I never gave you my name, did I?
Nope. Not that I've ever specifically needed it.
Well, then maybe we'll keep that a little bit of more of a mystery.
Not a problem. At all.
It's good to see you, Shinty.
I expect to be around for a very, very long time.
Also, be careful.
Of anything in particular.
I don't know just yet. If you need of me, Remy can get a hold of me easily enough. I have a good hiding spot, so as you can see, I'd hate to give everything away just yet.
Not a problem. For the time being, I'm more than happy to see to the enlightenment of those under my stead.
I did make a good choice. I have work to attend to. Well, good evening.
He'll
Keep
nod and start walking past, heading out the other end of the alley since he's, again, not taking the car again, so.
you do hear the car door open and close. As you're walking past, make me another wits and awareness.
Three that time.
I will DM you something.
All right.
And Amanda, as you are finishing up in the van, Timmy is very intoxicated. You feel the effect almost immediately. He is all the appropriate amounts of dizzy, lightheaded, and now he's very, very boozy and kind of just laying there a little bit. Inside the bar, Will is still a very slow drinker. Jimmy has given up trying to prod him at all. He just kind of like keeps looking towards the door, waiting to see if his brother turns up. And he does look from the door to Joe, back to the door, then to Taryn, and then back to the door, like almost doing that little puppy thing of just like, where is my brother? As Will kind of like leads a little bit on the bar. Can we go somewhere else? Like, I'm not feeling the vibe of this place.
I
Somewhere else.
I do think the plan was to find another one eventually. I suppose we can go see if Amanda's done.
I would say that's the moment Amanda literally stumbles in. Amanda, I am stumbling. I seem absolutely trashed. Walking into the door, sort of leaning against the door frame. I see Joe and Taryn and go, ladies, let's go.
I'll take that as our cue.
Yeah, I think it is time to go. And I like put my hand on the bottom of Will's cup glass where he's taking a sip, and I just start tilting more and more and more and more.
You
let him let up.
He's leaning back a little bit as he's still drinking it, and you just see Jimmy kind of like smile and cackle a little bit.
Oh, I like you. I looked at Joe like, oh, I see why you like him.
Stand up and keep tipping it. Come on, pretty boy. We got places to be.
He does finish drinking and kind of just like pushes the glass away a little bit. Can we get better beer? Oh, well, no, I don't like the feeling of that.
I thought the whole point was to get shitty beer at a shitty bar.
No, the point was that they were going to fight.
And I thought we had to get them shitty beer at a shitty bar first.
I'm like a fine liqueur man myself.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have time for that. So we're going to the next bar. And hopefully it's somewhere that none of us mind being kicked out of. Probably permanently.
None of the bars that I know are ones that I don't want to be welcomed back into.
So we have to go somewhere you don't know.
Right.
I say we just drive until we find an open sign.
I mean, we could do that. Getting kicked out of a bar is like really bad for my image, though.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Also, what I'm hearing is we burn the bar down.
No. Let me logic my way through this for a second. Do you have a very clean image?
No, but I'm not like that. I don't get kicked out of bars. I'm not clean, but I try to keep it classy.
Have you never wrecked a hotel room?
Not that anyone's been able to prove.
Are there any hotels in town you don't mind being kicked out of permanently?
I have a house. Why would I care if I'm kicked out of a hotel?
As far as I'm concerned, that's problem solved. Hotels have bars.
Because it's like too late to. It's after midnight, right? Or it's definitely after 9 p.m., but it's after midnight, though, right?
Yes, you are creeping past midnight at this point. Taryn, go ahead and make me a let's say this wits and streetwise.
Yep. All right. Sure. Wits and streetwise. Come on. That's 3. All right. If I have 2 hunger, that's 2 lanes. 2, 3 streetwise. One success.
Even with one success, there is a place that comes to mind that your sire is very, very fond of.
Ooh, yes. Let me get kicked out of there so I have more excuses to never go there.
And you feel that you could spin it just right and blame him as well.
Yeah, love it. Love this for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have the place.
And then I'll let you navigate.
So
I don't think any of the boys should be driving right now.
I am completely sober, thank you.
No, you're not.
Oh.
No.
You don't drive.
I could
No,
drive.
Absolutely
She's
not.
more wasted than I am.
Not.
I can totally drive. I'm fine.
I see how you became one of us. I see how this happened now.
I think I should probably take offense to that.
Maybe. Doesn't make it less true.
I have only had like 2. Can I please drive?
No.
Aw.
Does that mean I have to drive?
I'm gonna drive.
Oh, good.
I'm
You can drive.
capable.
Oh, here are your keys. I have your keys.
Yes.
Go take her keys back.
Awesome. That means
Pat Amanda on the head.
I love that for me. I'm going to drive my car because my car is nice.
Oh, can I ride with you?
No, because I don't want you to throw up in it.
I'm a vampire. I don't throw up.
That's what you think.
I haven't yet.
First time for everything.
But you could.
Can I ride with you?
Can he ride with me?
Oh, if he wants to.
Don't
I've
see him
never.
throw up?
I'm not gonna. I've had two of these aren't going to affect me.
No throwing up. No bleeding on things. I get to choose the music.
All right. Deal.
Goddamn right. I link
Also-
arms with him as we walk.
Jimmy does take your arm because he didn't want to ride in the van if he got a chance to ride in a nice car. He looks a little smug tonight, and Will's just like, where's he? Where the fuck is he going?
It's gonna go
Oh.
right in the car. Why not?
Gets to have all the fun because he's the oldest. I don't like this. Where's Timmy?
No,
Timmy's
I'm probably still in the van.
sleeping it off. He's fine. I promise I didn't hurt him. I promised that I wasn't gonna hurt him, and he's not hurt. He's just sleeping.
Is he clothed?
Actually, yeah, he is. Like, listen, he had what I needed, but he didn't need to take his clothes off for it.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Not everyone does things the same way I do them. There are all different sorts.
Okay.
I don't. I'm going. All right, I'm getting in the van. I'm getting in the van. Getting in the van.
I look at Jimmy. We have a bit further of a walk.
Happily. What kind of car you drive?
An Audi.
What color is it?
Silver.
It's a good choice. It's a solidly good choice.
I don't want to get anything too bright because, like, then the cops pay attention to you, and that's the last thing I need is to be attracting attention from the cops.
Can't you do the thing where you make them go away?
I mean, yeah, but that's effort. Like, why deal with the cops at all if I don't have to?
That's fair. That's fair. So how fast does this car go? Like, have you ever like pedaled to the metal it?
Not yet.
I would ask to drive, but I don't want Joe to yell at me.
No, I think that would go poorly for both of us.
I am an excellent driver.
She kind of scares me.
Oh, you haven't seen half of it.
I know. That's why I'm so scared.
You should see the fire bit. You have to come to the circus and see the fire bit.
See, that's just suicidal.
But it's so cool.
I mean,
I mean,
like,
look, I got my equipment in the van. I can show you guys now.
look, when I was immortal, I would have been like all over that shit, right? But like now,
You know, you can just stand a little bit away. I'll give you some binoculars.
get
Maybe like some opera glasses.
glasses.
Yeah, I think Sal has some of that in his car.
No, wait, no opera glasses. Because Isaac tried to get me to use those a lot when we would like go to things. I don't know. He thought it made me look classier. I thought it was dumb, but
Who's Isaiah?
Isaac.
Isaac.
Isaiah. Shit, what was my slayer's name?
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Yeah, that one. Isaiah.
He
see,
sounds
this-
like a
I need-
pompous dick.
Yes, this is why I need to take notes. Pompous Dick is putting it nicely. He's the reason I'm in this position.
Ew.
I mean,
So-
they
so-
can- they can
so-
work for me.
So do you have to like move every week or
No.
every other night?
Oh God, that would suck.
I mean, van life's pretty cool. Our van's pretty cool.
It's something.
You don't like vintage?
No, vintage can be great. van life just isn't. I need things a little more aesthetic.
You do know you can get somebody to like aesthetic it for you, right?
Yeah, but then there's not a lot of room and like I have a lot of stuff.
School bus.
I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot
Greyhound,
of clothes,
Greyhound bus.
shoes.
Oh. Shoot. I knew a guy once who had like 30 pairs of shoes. It was a bit weird for a guy.
God, I don't know what I would do if I only had 30 pairs.
How many do you have? Oh, good heavens.
Well, I have my shoe closet, right? And then I have my clothes closet. And then I use a closet in the guest bedroom for overflow.
Have you gone through it to make sure nothing's out of style?
Do you think I would wear anything out of?
I don't know.
Going back to the van.
I don't know how many times you clean out your closet.
Do I look like I have much else going on in my life other than making sure that I am this?
I don't know. You could be like I'm assuming you get invited to like nice events and stuff, and
Nice events like constantly.
exactly. You could have like a personal assistant or something. I don't know. Wait, do you have a personal assistant?
No. I figured they'd be a ghoul because of the
Oh,
whole like, you know, thing.
like me.
Yeah,
I am extremely helpful.
I've heard. And
Right. Audi, silver Audi.
silver Audi.
He walks right by it.
Hey, pretty boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, very pretty.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow,
Very small. It's a 2-seater.
I must have had more than two.
Yeah. See, this is why you're not driving.
Oh, right.
But we do have to go far enough that we could probably open her up a little bit.
Yeah.
Although we might lose the van if I do that.
Oh no. Joe's got this. She's speedy when she wants to be.
I believe that Joe is speedy. There is not a doubt in my mind about Joe's speediness.
I fixed the van. The van goes super speedy.
You are not as reassuring as you want to be. I can tell that you're trying really hard.
I am offended that you don't think I'm a great mechanic.
So do I need to ask Joe?
No, let's get in the car. He's like sliding in, looking very pleased with himself. Will is kind of walking out with Amanda and Joe, just kind of like looking around. So where are we going?
Not a clue. I'm hoping we can follow them.
I'm alternately leaning my weight either against Will or against Joe as we're walking out of the bar.
So what happens if we lose them?
I know what place we can go
Well,
if we lose them. It's
No,
fine.
that's fine. Jimmy has a phone. I have his phone connected to my phone. So eventually we'll find him. It just might take a while.
You low-jacked my brother.
I've done it to all of you. And Sal.
Does Sal know you low-jacked him?
Not as far as he's told me.
Where's he right
What
now?
does Sal know about technology? He can barely send a text.
I mean, he could. Wait, do you know where he is right now?
Jo pulls out her phone and checks it.
He is not at the circus. He is quite a ways away, up near Garland.
He had a meeting tonight, so that doesn't really surprise me.
Do you think the wolves will eat him?
No.
Oh. Did I tell you he yelled at me the other day? I don't like this.
I've heard.
He said I was useless.
Love, you just need to work a little bit harder.
But I'm not, like, I get the physique that I'm like the other two. I'm not really suited for moving crates.
It's only a little bit of work, and then you can do whatever you want to do. And even better, you can do whatever you want to do without having anybody yell at you.
Yeah, but he always yells. And you just see, like, Will smacks against the side of the van for a bit.
Just shove him into the van, unlock the door, deposit.
He falls face in, and you do hear Timmy makes a noise and kind of like looks over and starts laughing hysterically.
I'm not sure if we're actually going to make it inside the next bar, but they might. They might process it during the drive. There's only one way to find out. Do my best to follow Taryn.
And as a silver Audi pulls with rapid speed out of this dingy little dive bar with a van following after them, with 3 giggling triplets spread between 2 vehicles, we are going to end for tonight.